A day is an eternity in politics. So something tomorrow crazy could happen and that could all change.
That's exactly what happened today as the nation learned about President Biden pulling his re-election bid.
Fox 26 reporter Sophia Lesseos continues her team coverage tonight. She joins us live in the studio with reaction from leaders across the Central Valley and California. So, Sophia, what are people saying tonight?
Well, Rich and Liz, many Democratic leaders are sharing their support for President Biden's decision, saying things like he put America first by choosing to step down. But some are still questioning, was this decision made because many, including politicians in his own party, said that they were asking him to step down?
I mean, it's been an unprecedented last week in American politics.
Yes, it has. With the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump and now President Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race, backing Vice President Kamala Harris to take his place.
Now more than ever, it is sort of a seminal moment in American history where this election is going to have a major impact on the direction of the country, one way or the other.
Political leaders were quick to voice their opinions on the matter. Senator Alex Padilla said in part, "Today, President Biden put our country first as he has done throughout his public service career. During his presidency, he led the nation out of a crippling pandemic and revived our economy with a record job creation and historic low unemployment." California's junior Senator LaFonza Butler praised the president for making such a difficult decision, adding, "Our nation owes President Biden a debt of gratitude for his service and patriotism." The president's decision comes following pressure from a number of lawmakers to reconsider his re-election bid. Among them, Congressman Jim Costa, who represents the 21st District. President Biden acted yet again as our nation's leader when he made one of the bravest and most difficult decisions of his career by putting the interest of the American people first.
I think the straw that really broke the camel's back was the slow domino effect of Democratic leader after Democratic leader beginning to call for him to not run again.
California State Senator Melissa Hurtado had a different outlook, stating in part, "Election interference has evolved beyond obvious forms such as assassination attempts and now often appears in obscure and difficult to attribute ways. This means we must be vigilant about the influence of mega donors and op-eds by celebrities seeking to sway election outcomes." Ultimately, Sunday's decision to bow out came down to the president, after insisting he wouldn't.
The president is a very, proud individual. He has a long, well-respected career in public service. And so I don't think it was necessarily a decision that he took or made lightly.
Republican lawmakers who represent this area also were quick to react. Congressman Vince Fong, who's right here. You can't see the entire tweet right here, so I'm going to read it to you. He did post on X, which you're not seeing right here, but the tweet did say, "Instead of recognizing that President Biden was unfit for office before the primary, Democrats will now sort out their ticket in the unprecedented way by undemocratically ignoring the votes of 14 million Americans." Now, Fong's predecessor, Kevin McCarthy, also posted this on X, saying that the party says democracy is on the ballot, just ignored that the will of their own voters, and tried to say that Biden's condition wasn't real until it was exposed. Now, McCarthy went on to call Vice President Harris a failed border czar and said that President Trump will still win big.